Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
Hold one, Andre.
You're not good at this. Get out. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon.
You just made the list.
Oh my God!
Sorry, no speak English.
Dummy. Goodbye and good night. Hold two, on bar.
It's still real to me, damn it!
Dummy.
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
Hold three, Lamas covered, three-handle family Gradunzel.
Mamma mia!
And now, Unchained.media presents the B Plus Podcast with your host, Greg Unchained.
It's me, Austin! It was me all along, Austin!
Number 4, Armbar.
I will never retire!
I still got 200 more. I got 200 more holes to list.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another B Plus podcast. I am your host, Greg Unchained. Today is Saturday, so you know what that means. It's time for the view from the WWE Universe, which can only mean one thing. I am joined by the ever-present CJ. How are you, CJ?
Man, I'm doing fantastic. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm really good. You had before we went to air, you were telling me that someone recognized you today. Well, not recognized you, but recognized the B Plus today.
Yeah, so I was at work. I work in retail. Guy walks in with a shirt on for the WWE, for Seth Rollins shirt. And I was talking to him. I was like, oh, hey, man, do you watch WWE? He was like, yeah. I was like, do you follow the Aussie stuff? He was like, yeah, definitely. And I was like, mate, you should follow the B Plus. And he's like, they're the guys that do the podcast, right? And he was like, yeah, I was talk to him about it.
And you're like, that's me.
Like, yeah, I was kind of like, he's like, no, I like all the rest, and I love the WWE side of things. He's like, because that's what I'm a fan of. And I was like, that's us. I'm like, I'm CJ. Greg's the host. You should, man, give us a 5-star review.
So shout out to Jed for listening.
Yeah, definitely, man. Jed.
Shout out to Jed. Thanks for listening, man. It's good to know that there's people out there that are enjoying it. Thanks for that. That's awesome. So I guess it's time for us to talk, as we do every week, WWE. Let's start it with 205 Live.
Yes, 205 Live.
205 Live this week I thought it was a good episode, but it was really lifted by the main event.
Yeah, I think that main event was what made that show good this week, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, the other matches were good as well for what they were, but they just weren't ready to be the big match. And that's because they already had a big match there ready to go. So we're talking, of course, Buddy Murphy, the show stealer extraordinaire of 205 Live, our boy. He defeated Kalisto in... I can never tell when the blow-off match is with this feud. I feel like the feud's still going, but then this one kind of felt like it had a bit of finality to it.
I think this was the final of the singles side of things, but not of a tag team division.
Right, like they should have another tag match, right?
Yeah, just have that rubber match they need.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But this match, holy hell. I know we normally go through the show in order, but I Buddy Murphy, man, not enough good stuff. And it's not just because we're Aussies, okay? Yes, we're Aussies. We do have a little bit of that national pride, and talking about, a Buddy Murphy is really carrying the flag so well for us. But every time he goes out there, he's stealing the show. Like his matches with Cedric Alexander, his matches with Mustafa Ali, they're all match of the year contenders as far as I'm concerned. And this Kalisto match was no different.
No, I agree 100%. Every time he steps in between those ropes, he is a show stealer.
Yeah. I mean, when he countered the Selena Del Sol into that lawn dart in the middle turnbuckle, it looked like he killed the dude, which, I mean, that's more on Kalisto, like top selling by Kalisto. Kalisto sells like a motherfucker.
Oh, it's exactly right.
And so, yeah, I don't know. The crowd broke out into "This is awesome" chants about 16 times in the match.
Don't blame them.
I was just sitting there just like, this is one of those times when I agree with the overzealous crowd.
Yes.
It was really fun seeing Dorado and Nice and obviously Grand Metalik as well. So the Lucha House Party guys and Nice getting thrown out individually. That was really fun. The way the match had almost like chapters within it.
Yeah, which is the best way that they've done it, I think, for a singles match lately on 205.
Yeah. So let's talk about the rest of the show as well. We started the show with the Brian Kendrick versus Akira Tozawa, and Kendrick and Gallagher riffing on, I like cheap heat, and when they're on the way to the ring riffing about how Toronto is a second-rate colony city,
that was great.
That made me chuckle. I love a little bit of the Queen's humor. See,
that also makes me wonder if those guys come out to Australia, what's the roast that we're going to get from Sir Jack Gallagher just for the fact that we're another Commonwealth country?
Yeah, well, I believe he will think he's better than us, but I don't think they're coming. I mean, they haven't been announced. It would be really nice to see them. I'd be more excited to see them than half of the main roster, to be honest with you. Jack Gallagher's my dude. I like that style. Everything he does is fantastic. Yeah. But moving on, so he has a match against Akira Tozawa. Not Gallagher, sorry. The Brian Kendrick has a match against Akira Tozawa. It was a bit of a short one.
Yeah, it was only about 8 minutes or something, wasn't it? Maybe shorter?
Yeah, I mean, 205, I don't know, for these two, I assumed we'd get like 12 to 15, somewhere around there. So it felt short, even though it wasn't necessarily short. It was like...
It wasn't as long as 205 is known for its matches.
Well, it was like a decent TV match, but it wasn't... Yeah, I thought for these two specific competitors on 205 Live, they'd get a little bit more time.
Yeah.
And it just kind of felt like Tozawa wrapped things up before it really got going.
Yeah, no, I can understand that. And I got that feeling as well, that it was over before it started. Does that make sense?
It was mostly one-sided. Yeah, absolutely. It was mostly one-sided. It made Tozawa look very strong, rebuilt some of the momentum he's lost. Coming out underneath Leo Rush. I mean, anyone looks second-rate next to Leo Rush, but...
Anybody. I mean, John Cena could look second-rate next to Leo Rush.
Well, the new John Cena. I think John Cena's trying to get onto 205 Live.
By the looks of it.
Yeah, he's shedding pounds like crazy. Maybe it's actually the goal. He's like, I've held every title except the cruiserweight. You know what though? What? Buddy Murphy versus John Cena for the cruiserweight title in a half-hour 205 Live match. Actually, it'd be pretty damn entertaining.
It would be, but Buddy Murphy could also make anyone look entertaining.
No, but Cena can go. People don't give Cena credit, man. Cena can go. Like, he can't go the way the guys on 205 Live go, but he can go. Like, he can put together a damn good match.
Oh, I don't know. He's got that springboard stunner now. That's pretty high-flying, isn't it?
Well, he's been teasing a 6th move of doom.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that.
He's got a new move that he's going to break out in China this weekend. So, I don't know. I'm assuming we'll see gifts of it pretty soon.
Hopefully.
Anyway, bring it back to 205 Live.
Yep.
Tozawa regaining momentum is what I was trying to say. Which he needs. So it makes sense that he gets the win here. The Brian Kendrick is not a guy who needs wins to look legitimate because he's the Brian Kendrick.
That's exactly right.
Then we get some recaps leading to the main event and some promos. Buddy's promo was really good too. That's the thing. Like, he's a very straightforward promo.
Yeah.
And it was fun. And Tony Nese just being like, the Juggernaut is back. I like that he's called the Juggernaut. He's way too small to be the Juggernaut, but, the Juggernaut. It's pretty cool.
He's the Juggernaut compared to the guys in 205 Live.
Right, so he's the Juggernaut of the Cruiserweight division.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah, absolutely. And then we got Hideo Itami, your favorite.
Oh, he's a beast.
Yeah, he just came out to kick the crap out of another jobber. Michael Blaze, this dude, his hair was gorgeous.
I like that guy's hair. That was actually pretty
Can we
cool.
just say his hair was gorgeous, and the way he flipped it when he was selling, I was a fan of this Michael Blaze guy. Bring Michael Blaze back.
It just looked like something straight out of like Creator Wrestler.
He looked like a Creator Wrestler.
Yeah, that's what I got. Because it was like that perfect sleek hair, the slim body, the not so much of a tan, but he knew what he was doing. Like, that's just what I got.
Man, I thought he was great. I want him to be the new jobber extraordinaire, along with what's his name, Colin Devaney. So
The
I
new
want
Sean
him to-
Maluda?
Yeah, Sean Maluda. I want him to join those ranks. Sean Maluda's a step above, though. He's like a
He's
I
a
don't
jobber
know.
to the stars, that guy.
so he's moving up, man. He's moving up. He didn't make it to the pre-show like we predicted, but I really think he's moving on up in the world. We should see him on Raw or SmackDown in no time.
Jobbing out to Ronda
But-
Rousey.
You know, I think WWE might actually be moving towards some intergender stuff. There's been a lot of teasing.
There has been.
It's kind of crazy to think. Like, I never would have thought in my lifetime. Well, actually, no, because I mean, Beth Phoenix was in the Royal Rumble, right? Like, they've done little bits, and China
Karma
did
in
it when I was a
China.
kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. No, but I feel like that we may be moving towards a direction where it's more legitimate and more consistent. Like, it happens.
Yeah, but you know, that is actually something I want to touch on when we hit Raw. I actually have a theory.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, let's get there when we get to Raw. So we see Mustafa Ali ends up coming out to make the save on this kid because Hideo's doing his thing where he's just beating the crap out of the kid and refusing to win the match, which I like that gimmick.
Oh, yeah. It shows he is a machine.
How did you feel about Mustafa Ali showing up when he was told he couldn't come back until Drake Maverick said so?
Well, I don't know. I'm a bit torn about this. I like the fact that he's showing up because he could be like, you know what, staff management, I'm here to save the little guy. But at the same time, I'm like, you just defied the guy who could give you your title back. Like, what are you doing?
Is it that? Is it that? Or did he have Daddy Maverick's approval
I don't know.
before he came out? Because Mustafa Ali doesn't seem like the type to want to upset Daddy, you know?
True, yeah.
I'm calling him Daddy now. He's the daddy of 205 Live. Like, he runs that shit, you know?
That's exactly right.
We praise him every week for the tight ship he runs. And when he like gets between guys and stuff, you actually see them take a step back. I don't know. I'm calling him Daddy Maverick from now on because he
Daddy
runs
Maverick.
that shit.
All right,
Yeah.
that sounds good. Let's tweet that out.
So-
Can we make that hashtag Daddy Maverick every time we tweet to him?
Hashtag Daddy Maverick. I love it. All right. So, and then we got the main event, as we talked about, which was a week stealer. I think it's probably up there for my match of the week, which is high praise considering one of the matches we're going to talk about on Raw.
Yeah.
So, I guess that does it for 205 Live for me. Any other standout notes?
No, I think the one thing that got me was the fact that the crowd was actually chanting 205 during that main event.
Yeah.
Now, that's not
Yeah.
something you hear very often. So,
Brand recognition.
It was good.
a really good crowd.
Yeah.
It's a really good crowd. So, I mean, it's Canada. They get excited when people go up there.
I think Canada just get excited about maple syrup. But let's not go there.
No, well, okay, so you don't watch Impact, but when Impact moved their tapings up to Canada, it put a real shot in the arm of the show because all of a sudden they've got a live crowd that are engaged.
Yeah.
They have a live crowd that are chanting, "This is Impact," and stuff like that, and just really, like, getting behind what's happening. I think that they're just starved for TV product up there, you know?
Yeah, I think so.
And so they eat it up. Like, they just super eat it up.
I guess Two Broke Girls is on hiatus up there at the moment.
Gross. Now I thought of that show. Why would you do that to me, man? Moving on, NXT. NXT this week was pretty good. It wasn't the best episode of NXT. It wasn't the worst episode of NXT. It wasn't just right. It was just, you know, it was an episode of NXT.
It was like 6 out of a 10-star rating. It was like 6.5.
Yeah,
was like that
it was
mid-range?
middling.
Yeah.
It was middling. It was very much middling. And but to say that, I mean, NXT's so good that middling is good anyway, you know?
Yeah.
But I feel like Raw and SmackDown actually delivered this week, and with the main event on 205 Live, it really actually felt like NXT was the low light of the week.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. I actually, after finishing NXT, I was kind of like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Which, to be honest with you, it's a good thing, like, because it's the development brand. It shouldn't be overshadowing the main brands every week.
Like
But-
it has been for the last, 6 months?
well, tried 3 years. But, you know, it is what it is. So, NXT starts with Regal letting us know that he's opening an investigation into who assaulted Aleister Black.
Yeah, I'm going to get sick and tired of this Aleister Black situation already.
I don't think it's going to last that long. I think this tapings, he'll be back for the next tapings, I think. So I don't think it's going to play out for too long. I don't think that the person who did it is even in NXT yet. I reckon it's going to be like, I don't know, maybe Matt Riddle, maybe someone they haven't even signed yet. Maybe in like a month's time, they're going to be like, we signed Bad Boy Joey Janela. And he's going to be like, it was me, Alistair. It was me all along, you know? And he'll flick his cigarette at him. Yeah, I don't think they're going to have smoking on NXT TV. I would love to see Bad Boy Joey Janela be responsible for the attack on Alistair Black. You have no idea who I'm talking about, do you?
Joey, isn't that the guy that was just killed by Hangman Page?
No, that's Joey Ryan. Joey Ryan, the famous dick wrestler in Japan. He was killed.
Oh, right. He was killed. But didn't Hangman just have a match with Joey Janela, or is he about to have a match with him?
Right, well, as people are listening to this, it's Saturday, so it's tomorrow.
Oh.
So, yeah. So, no, it's Sunday. This Sunday, All In, Hangman Page has a match against Joey Janela, and was it you that predicted he's going to become the Joey Killer?
Yes. Oh, no? Was it?
I can't remember who it was. I
think it might have been Mikey.
Might have been Mikey. Well, someone on our All In cast, which you can listen to by going back in the feed, someone predicted that he would become the Joey Killer and he will kill multiple Joeys. Now, on Pro Wrestling Tees, this may be foreshadowing, but on Pro Wrestling Tees, that he released a shirt this week. This is completely unrelated to WWE, but I got to talk about it. Yeah. He released a shirt that says Joey Killer on it, and it has a phone because he beat Joey Ryan to death with a phone. It's a fantastic shirt. I want it. But Joey Killer, that may actually be his gimmick now. He's the Joey Killer.
I hope it works.
Bringing it back. Johnny Gargano comes out on a crutch and he apologizes. How did you feel about this promo?
I actually got bored with that the moment he started walking out.
Me too. I was like, I'm normally right there with the sympathy for Johnny.
Yeah.
But I felt like they went to the well one too many times.
Yeah. As soon as he comes out hobbling with the crutch and he looked all upset, I'm like, dude, give it a rest. You're lost.
Right, because at this point in the story arc, like throughout the attacks from Tommaso Ciampa and stuff, we had sympathy for him.
Yeah.
But this was of his own doing. Like, we're not meant to feel sympathy for you. And he's saying, I'm sorry, and I don't know what to do. Well, what you do, dude, is you be better, right? Like, that's what a story arc like this is supposed to teach you, is to be better. And I guess he'll get there and he'll learn that. Like, that's part of the story. But it doesn't feel like they're at that point yet. And it just felt... Yeah, like they went to the well, like they were like, we'll get sympathy for Johnny, but I don't think anyone's ready to give him sympathy again.
No, I think people are starting to get sick and tired of it. Just like Velveteen Dream is.
Velveteen Dream's sick and disgusted, which are kind of the same thing.
But you know what? Every single word he used explains my feelings for this entire segment.
Yeah, no, well, okay, no. So when Velveteen Dream came out, I loved it because I was like, yeah, like as Johnny's in the ring saying, I don't know what's next, rah, 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 and he's doing his whole thing. I'm sitting there watching and I'm thinking to myself, you know who should come out right now? Velveteen Dream should come out right now. He just had a big win. He could really have a good match with Johnny Gargano, and we could even see him push Johnny further into the hole with the Velveteen Dream mind games that he plays so well.
Yep.
And he might get another high-profile win and go on the road to challenging for the title. You know, this could be really big for Velveteen Dream. And then, boom, Velveteen Dream. You know, the music hits. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, yes! I'm like popping. I was on the edge of my seat, which doesn't happen often. I'm in a recliner, so it's hard. It was fantastic. I enjoyed it. I liked Velveteen Dream coming out. That kind of saved it for me.
It did save it, but at the same time, I think when Gargano was going on and then Regal comes out and he's like, who attacked Aleister Black? I'm like, guys, just give it a rest. And Dream comes out. I'm like,
that's right. Before Dream came out, Regal came out. And it was so funny because Johnny's there having a heartfelt moment, just being like, I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. Out comes William Regal. He just ignores everything Johnny's done. Doesn't sell it at all. Doesn't sell any of what Johnny's been saying. And he's just like, did you attack Aleister Black?
Yeah, I was like, where did that question come from? Are you going to come out here and be like, look, we understand. Why don't you take a couple of weeks off, get a bit better, come back, and you can have another match?
So it's like, Billy, read the room. Yeah. Just read the room, man. Know your audience. I feel so disrespectful calling him Billy. I'm very sorry, Mr. William Regal, sir. You are a legend and I respect you. But no, for real. But then, Velveteen Dream came out and really saved the segment. Said that tonight should be about him, not Johnny Failure. And then Regal, he's less effective. Like, Regal used to be the GM standard, but Daddy Maverick just does it so much better.
Yep.
And when he got between them, was just like, you go to the back and you go to my office. And he sounded like a principal.
He did, and I think that's what half the crowd got too. They're like, ooh.
Yeah, it was. They gave it an ooh react. Like they were a bunch of kids in year 6. Just, ooh, mama, you're in trouble.
Oh wow! But out of that,
no, it was fun.
It was fun in the end. But out of that segment, we are getting Velveteen Dream versus Johnny Gargano next week on NXT.
Yeah, next week on NXT, and we mentioned last week that Velveteen Dream doesn't wrestle much on TV because he's kind of a featured attraction, and it's really good to see them using him in such a high featured profile match. Do we think it'll end clean, and who do we think comes out on top?
I'm going Dream comes out on top, but not because it's clean. I reckon Tommaso Ciampa will just be like, hey, Gargano, you lost to me. Just like you're going to lose to Dream, and then boom, Dream will get it.
I think Dream wins clean with because of Johnny's mistakes.
Oh, yeah?
I think he gets into Johnny's head, like maybe he comes out dressed as Johnny Wrestling or something. Like he plays those mind games, that he does so well. It gets in Johnny's head and Johnny goes full Tommaso again, but it doesn't work for him. Because that seems like the story they're telling is how that dark side just doesn't work for Johnny the way it works for Tommy. So that's where I think it's going, but I'm looking forward to it either way. Then we get Aaliyah versus Dakota Kai in a match that was better than it had any right to be. I said the same thing last week not last week. I said the same thing 2 weeks ago when Aaliyah had her match against Kairi Sane. It was better than it had any right to be. Aaliyah has improved a lot.
Yeah, from what I've heard, you hear stuff like online about they're improving their in-ring ability and whatnot. But seeing her on TV, I can actually see that there is a lot of skill there.
Yeah, I mean, compared to where she was, like, if you go back and watch, like, when she was on Proving Ground or whatever it was, which was, like, Breaking Ground, I think.
Breaking Ground, yeah.
Which was, like, an NXT original, like, on the WWE Network, and it, like, followed them behind the scenes and stuff, and she was there, and she's been on NXT TV a lot as a jobber, and just, she's never really been anything, but I feel like she's actually starting to put the pieces together, and we may actually see her get a run soon, because, I mean, Dakota Kai was someone who lost a lot on TV for a while too.
Yep.
Bayley used to lose all the time on TV way back when, so it's kind of, that's the way NXT women's division especially works, and I think Aaliyah's actually kind of ready to come up and be one of the actual wrestlers who gets some wins every now and then. I mean, she's not going to be a Bianca Belair.
No.
She's not going to be a Candice LeRae, but she's ready to be that step below, like your Vanessa Bourne. She could fit into that
she's like
category quite easily.
Yeah, I think sitting in that spot, like not so much a main eventer, but sort of that mid-card spot would do well for her.
Yeah, so Dakota Kai gets the win with the signature flip-over backbreaker, which I still love that move. Is it Code Red? I don't know what they call it.
I can't remember what they call it. I think they did call it something.
Yeah, I think you called it a Code Red into a lung blower or something. I don't know, but it's the one where she jumps on their back with her knees and then flips over so that they, boom, come down on the knees. It's such a pretty move. I really like it, and it gets her the win. Then we see some more William Regal investigating, and he's sitting down in the office questioning Dream and everything but a lie detector.
Yeah, pretty much.
What was the guy who was sitting there with him? Who is that guy? Like, what was that all about?
I think he's some
guy there.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be like some detective. Like
right. Right, and he lets him know that the Forgotten Sons are in the hallway, and I'm like, the Forgotten Sons? Who are the Forgotten Sons? I've forgotten.
Yeah.
So, a pretty apt name, and in comes Wesley Blake, Steve Cutler, and Gunner, I want to say, and he asks them about Aleister Black, and they're like, oh, we just wanted to talk to you about getting a damn match, and it's like, oh, these guys aren't on TV ever.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie, actually, when it came up with the security footage, when they were going over it with Charlie Caruso, they came up with the Forgotten Sons, and I was like, oh, they're still there? I thought they got released.
No, well, like, Wesley Blake used to be, of course, with Buddy Murphy.
Yeah.
They were... I can't even remember what their team was called anymore. And they had Alexa Bliss, too. They were Bam. Buddy, Alexa...
Yeah, Bam.
I can't
I think it was Bam.
Yeah, they were Team Bam. And they were fantastic. And then Murphy just dropped off the map. Not Murphy, sorry. And then Blake just dropped off the map. And I don't know what happened to him. But yeah, he's in a team with Steve Cutler. And I don't even know if I knew that, to be honest with you. But I guess they do the house show circuit and what
That's probably why, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to have a match next week. And they say that, they couldn't have gotten there in time. They couldn't have attacked. And then we see EC3 being attacked by Lars Sullivan.
Yep.
Well, presumably. Like, Lars Sullivan's leaving the scene of the crime. And
yeah.
They make it look like, could it be the same as Aleister Black? No. He comes out later in the show, and when Raul Mendoza's meant to have a match with EC3, Lars comes out, and he's just like, unlike the Aleister Black thing, okay, I attacked.
Yep.
I attacked EC3. And it's like, okay, cool. Yeah, but then, I feel like if you attacked someone, you would own up to it, because this is wrestling. That's what you do.
But see, when he comes out and he's like, I did it, the first thing that popped into my head was, I did it for The Rock. I was like, please don't.
That's been the ongoing meme with this Aleister Black thing, is someone's going to say they did it for The Rock.
I did it for Ricochet? Could that be a spot?
I honestly think I think it'd be really cool. The Undisputed Era seem like the kind of guys that would, like, when they're being interviewed, just have Adam Cole just sit in the background and just be like, it was me, man. It was me. But I didn't do it for you, Regal. I did it for The Rock.
It's like a full troll moment. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, just to troll them. Or it would have been cool if Nikki Cross did it when she was being interviewed. So Nikki Cross got interviewed, and she's just pretending she's crazy. Because, like I said, she doesn't come across as an actual crazy person. She comes across as a person pretending to be crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you would do if you had to do charades of what is crazy,
No, that's exactly her character, how over the top it is, it's actually kind of annoying me now.
Yeah, so she's just spinning around in the chair laughing and saying, oh, I know who did it. And she answers the phone even though the phone's not ringing. And it was just it was a bit much, really.
Yeah. But did she actually see it? That's my question. Do you reckon she actually saw it?
I think the idea is her character wouldn't know, and there's no way you could rely on it anyway.
Sure.
So I don't think it matters. I think it's kind of irrelevant. And also, I mean, she had a direct line of sight if that was actually her on the blur up the roof.
Yeah, sure.
If that blur was actually her on the roof, she had a direct line of sight, so it's possible. But that was weird and annoying. I just didn't like the way she pretends to be crazy, I guess. Yep. But Bianca Belair was great in that segment.
Yeah, she's like, I deserve that title shot. That should be my shot.
I like the way she talked to Nikki like a dog, too. She's like, Nikki, no. Nikki, don't touch my hair. It's like Nikki's either a dog or a toddler.
I'm going a toddler.
Sit. Stay.
Don't move. Don't touch.
Yeah, that's kind of how it felt.
So going from there, we had Keith Lee defeating another jobber again. I think that's...
Yeah, so Keith Lee versus Luke Menzies. And that was a rugby player.
Yes.
They like to tell us he was a rugby player. So what did you... So, again, you're a newbie to Keith Lee.
I'm actually enjoying it.
I felt like he was more impressive in this match.
Yeah, I'm going to enjoy seeing Keith Lee perform in NXT, and he was strong, he was powerful, he was quick.
And that Hurricane Rana.
Yeah, I didn't even know he could do that.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Well, that's kind of his gimmick, is guy that size does things like that. What? Which, to be fair, that gimmick's actually kind of played out. Like, Kevin Owens was the same thing. Oh, he moves so well for a guy who's bigger. And it's like, well, look, he's not that much bigger. And yeah, it's kind of like there's been a lot of people who run with that gimmick. And at a certain point, he's going to need to add more. But, he's limitless. He's bask in my glory. All that. Like, he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. He'll be good.
But and then, I just want to point out that he wins using the last ride.
Yeah, the big power bomb that he uses. It's not really a last ride because he does the sit out.
Oh yeah, sit out. Sorry, sit out last ride.
Yeah, he sits out. So it's not really a last ride. But we skipped over probably the highlight of the night for me, the Ciampa promo.
Oh right, I completely forgot about that promo.
Yeah, Tommaso Ciampa sets up a camera somewhere backstage. So much better than a selfie promo, by the way. So much better than a selfie promo. And he's just talking about, promising that he'd be the most dangerous son of a bitch NXT's ever seen, and now he's done it. And, it takes a real special man to climb the mountain, and even more special man to make his nest there, and that's what I've done. And he's basically saying he's going to stick around in NXT for a long time, and he's going to be the champion forever.
Which I can actually see him holding that for a while, actually.
Please do.
Like,
please do.
NXT needs to have that longer champion, like a Neville sort of run. I think Neville held it for nearly a year, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe just over a year.
Yeah, Neville held it for quite a while.
So I want to see Ciampa hold it for that long.
Bo Dallas had a real good run with it too.
Yeah. So go back to the old days where it was like one champion a year.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like they do still have decent reigns, but it started to feel a little bit there for a while. Like, the new guy comes in, gets the belt, goes up. The new guy comes in, gets the belt, goes
Pretty
up.
much.
And that's what, you kind of don't want that to happen. That's the one thing. But anyway, moving on, we get an announcement that Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch are in action next week. Whether that's going to be against the Forgotten Sons.
2 weeks.
They forgot to mention.
2 weeks.
Oh, is it 2 weeks? So it's not next week.
No, because Kairi Sane is next week.
All right, Kairi Sane's going to be on TV next week. And then we get the main event, which was done, and Ricochet versus the Undisputed Era. It was a good match. I don't think it was great, but it was good.
It wasn't as good as those boys could perform. That's exactly right.
Yeah, and I love that Dunn was the hot tag, though, not Ricochet. Because you expect in a match like that, Ricochet has the exciting offense.
You'd think so.
So they'd give hot tag, but I really liked that it was Pete Dunne, because it let Pete Dunne show more, and when he did that moonsault to the outside and whatnot, I just love Pete Dunne, so having him be the showcase guy was really fun for me.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
And then after Undisputed Era get the sort of cheap win, they attack after the match as well, and the War Raiders come out, forcing the Cowards Era to retreat.
Cowards Era, that's a good one.
The Undisputed Cowards? That's probably better.
Undisputed Cowards works well. But I won't call them that because I'm a big fan of theirs.
Oh no, I love them too, but it's the gimmick, man. They're cowards. They
pretty much.
You're not so brave now that it's 2-on-1, huh? I'm still in stitches over that line.
I mentioned that at work the other day, and one of the guys I work with were like, "What are you on about?" I was like, "It's 2-on-1." He's like, "There's no one else here."
I gotta tell you, just listen to my podcast, man. I'm a big deal. I have tens of people who listen to me online, okay? Yep. But that does it for NXT this week. I think next week is going to be a better show. I'm excited for next week, but, it wasn't bad at all, but it definitely was kind of the worst show of the WWE week, which is weird.
Yeah, it's very strange for NXT.
Yeah. Moving on, we have Monday Night Raw, which it wasn't a bad episode of Monday Night Raw by any stretch, but there was some confusing bits. It was a good episode of Raw, but there was some confusing bits, for me, anyway.
No, I'm with you there.
All right, so let's get into it. So, with Raw and SmackDown, once again, we're not going to break down the shows like we do for 205 and NXT, because it goes for 3 hours. So, let's just talk about the stories. What's the biggest story you want to talk about coming out of Raw?
Kevin Owens.
Kevin motherfucking Owens. All right, cool. I'm right there with you. Dude, this match. So, Kevin Owens had a match against Seth Rollins.
Yep.
And they tore the house down. Like, that match was better than it had any right to be on a Monday Night Raw. Like, I was pissed off that there were ads. Yeah. Why was that not on SummerSlam?
No, that's exactly right. That is a main event. Like, that is a main event match right there. Like, to me, that reminded me, like, going back when I first saw Kevin Owens, I went back and watched a lot of Kevin Steen stuff. And to me, that brought a lot of Tyler Black and Kevin Steen together. And to me, I was really excited with that.
Yes, that's what I was about to say. So this match, actually, I mean, both of they're actually both better now than they were on the Indies. It's going to upset a lot of people, but they are. And the thing was, this match really, they worked a more indie style in this match. They worked a more, like, with the way they countered each other's finishes and escaped it. This match would have fit in New Japan. This match would have fit in Ring of Honor. This match would have fit in on this weekend's All In card. This match was basically them saying, hey, we can still do this too. Because everyone's so, all the talk of this week is All In.
Yeah.
No one cares about WWE this week. Everyone's hyped up and amped up for All In and what that means for the industry and how big it is. And WWE are well aware of everything that's going on.
Yeah.
And if management aren't, if head office aren't, then the talent certainly are, because they got friends that are on the show.
No, that's exactly right.
And this match, Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins, like, if you haven't seen this match, if there's one thing you watch from WWE this week, I have to. It's a split for me between Buddy Murphy and Kalisto and this match. And that is my bias coming in, because I want more people watching Buddy Murphy because he's one of ours. But this match, holy crap.
This match was fantastic.
Watch it. And Seth Rollins wins.
Yeah, clean too, which I was impressed with that.
Yeah, what was Seth Rollins is the face. Like, he tends to win clean.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. But unless you're talking about, like, this is Raw, so you expected something odd to happen to set up a story for a pay.
For some reason, I expected Dean Ambrose, but
right.
That's actually another thing I want to touch on real quick as well. All three members of the Shield came out wearing the Shield shirts, but came out separately.
Yep, I actually was a huge fan of that. But let's backtrack a little. A little. We'll get to the Shield.
Yeah, of course.
Let's backtrack and let's talk about what happened with Kevin Owens after he lost. He sat in the ring throughout the ad break. He grabbed a chair, sat in the ring. Like, I was following along on Twitter as well, and it was like people are just being like, Kevin Owens is just sitting in the ring.
20 minutes apparently, or something like that. That's all it was on Snapchat. Like, I was following the live stream on Snapchat as well, and there's people just in the arena being like, Kevin Owens hasn't left. Why is he still sitting here? What's going to happen? Is this he?
Yeah, I think it was like 6 or 7 minutes.
Yeah, like it was a decent amount of time for a guy who's just lost a match to just sit in the ring.
Yeah, and he just grabbed a chair and sat there. And then they came back from break and he's sitting there in the ring and they're like, we've got to get someone to remove Kevin Owens. Like, the show has to go on, kind of thing. And then he just picks up a microphone and says, I quit.
Yep.
Now, where do you think this is going?
Okay, so I'm going out of the ballpark here and I'm going all in.
Yeah.
That's what I know that's what every single person wants. So there's two ways that I can look at this. One is the Dreamcast of he's just appearing at the over the top. So the over budget battle royale. I know it's a long shot. Vince probably wouldn't like it, but that's where I want it to go because his superstar page has been moved to the alumni section on WWE.com.
Yeah, they've committed to the story.
So
yeah.
I like that. However, I also like the fact that he could come in as Paul Heyman's next Heyman guy.
Right. So there hasn't been any reports of him being injured or anything like that. So we assume it's just a storyline. Yeah. We don't think he needs any time off for any reason. But then there were also reports that they're giving him time off until the end of the year, just so that they can give him a refresher. And then there were reports that, wait, no, we're talking that was actually about Bray Wyatt. There's all sorts of chatter, but nothing concrete as to what's happening, which is good because I like to be surprised. Yeah. Fantasy booking, like if I'm fantasy booking, I'm like, yeah, Vince made a deal with the All In guys. I talked about this on the All In podcast. I think that, Vince wants to be in the All In business, but he doesn't. But he doesn't necessarily want to ruin it by being involved. So he wants to let them do their thing, but have them be on his thing as well. Maybe I fantasy booking here. It's probably never going to happen. People, I acknowledge this, but it's kind of my fantasies and my wildest wet dreams. Yeah, fantasy booking. I would love to see Kevin Owens show up in the over budget battle royal and win and go on to face, challenge, and possibly even beat Jay Lethal for the Ring of Honor World Championship.
That'd be a cool way to do it, but then how would you have a Ring of Honor title on WWE? Well, I guess you really wouldn't. Just to give him time off.
Remember when he debuted in that match against John Cena, and he put his foot on the US title and raised the NXT title in the air?
That would be pretty cool. I can see where you go.
Imagine him doing that with a Ring of Honor title. Imagine him doing that and being like, I remember who I am, bitches.
That would be pretty cool.
Right? The same story that I've sort of pitched multiple times for Daniel Bryan, but different. I think it'd be really cool. I don't know. It's not going to happen, though. I think the far more likely thing is he goes to NXT and joins the Undisputed Era.
Or he just helps the Undisputed Era debut on Raw.
Yeah, or Raw or SmackDown. Because he has a lot of history with those Undisputed Era boys. So it would fit. I don't know if he would necessarily fit the group in terms of his character. Like, they're all kind of cocky and he's not that. He's a different kind of beast, but I don't know. I think there's some potential there.
There is. I just want to point out, he's still technically advertised. I know cards are subject to change, but he's still advertised for MCG. So unless they change that as a storyline way, he's probably still going to come out.
Yeah, I very much hope he's back by then.
I mean, it's only 4 weeks away.
Yeah, it is. It's only a couple of weeks away now, and I do. I hope he's back by then because selfishly, I want to see Kevin Owens. So, I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go, but I'm interested to see how it plays out. Moving on, you wanted to talk about the Shield.
Yes. So, the Shield, this run is very much, it's so interesting for me because of the fact that you have 3 single superstars. They're not working as a tag team now. Like, yes, they're going to have their moments as a tag team, but they've all just walked out on Monday Night Raw wearing their shirts, but they're all in singles matches.
Right, and this is what I've said I want from the New Day, right? Yeah. To be a team that do single stuff, that don't break up, that they're really good friends and they have each other's backs when it's necessary, but at the end of the day, they do their own thing, kind of like all of the stables in New Japan, right? That's how I want it to go. And I really like that they're doing that with the Shield. Their whole concept of we're just 3 workhorses that look out for each other because we know how hard it is to be on top.
Which I think...
Wow, okay. I'm on board for that. I am totally on board for that.
I think that's a perfect way to do this run for the Shield.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, Braun Strowman has turned heel. Fully, it looks like.
Yeah, well, he's officially cashed in. It's not as cowardly as we thought. It's not as cowardly as any other normal Money in the Bank cash in, but he has officially cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yeah, and then he was tagging with Roman Reigns that night against Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler, but he sort of let them beat the crap out of Roman Reigns, and then he came in and joined in.
I enjoyed that.
And then the Shield guys came out one by one, which is always stupid. Run out together, guys. What are you doing?
As a team.
And they get beaten down as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought it was strange because, but the crowd seemed to get behind it. And then on Twitter, Braun posted an eye for an eye, Roman. So he's like, you attacked me 3-on-1. I'm going to attack you 3-on-1. And then we get the announcement that we're getting the Shield versus Drew McIntyre, Dolph Ziggler, and Braun Strowman at the MCG.
Yeah, which I'm very excited to see this match. I know it sounds...
Yeah, I would have preferred to see the Shield versus the Wyatts, but you know, this match is okay too, I guess.
He's like, yeah, I'll deal with second best.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like, come on. That means that straight away, the Universal title's off the table. Straight away, the Intercontinental title's off the table. Like, come on.
Yeah, true.
Come on. What are you doing?
Yeah, I can understand that.
We're going to see Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy too. Come on.
Oh, please don't do that to us.
Just. I'm not all that excited about the MCG card. I'm excited about the event.
I'm actually excited about some of the card, which we'll touch near the end of the episode.
I think I'm going to ultimately be more excited for Melbourne City Wrestling, but that's me. I'm a weird one. I'm a weird case. But let's move on. I guess the other major stories coming out of Raw. Ronda Rousey still hasn't been turned on by the other girls. Everyone on Raw in the women's division is still all about history and friendship.
Yay! I really couldn't give a damn about Evolution at the moment. I know this is going to sound really, really bad, but I'm over it already.
Yeah, well, look, there's some things that are going to get me excited for it. The stuff over on the SmackDown side, the women's division is doing really well on the SmackDown side. And the Mae Young Classic is going to get me amped up for it. So I watched the Bracketology special today. I'll touch on that later. But yeah, I think that the Raw division is pathetic. It's pathetic. Like, yay history, yay friends, yay women. No, fight! Fight over something, please. There's a title there. If you have to fight over something, fight over that. At least. At least. Come on. It's pathetic.
I just want to see the Stratusfaction again on Mickey James one last time. That's what I want to see.
That was cool, though. Trish Stratus coming out and interrupting Elias's concert, man. She had some zingers.
She did. But, mate, come on. Elias, that little segment was like, yeah, I don't do 6-year-old women. What? That was immediate heat.
Burn. I loved it. I love Elias so much. Elias can do no wrong.
That's exactly right.
I can't wait to walk with Elias. Baron Corbin versus Finn Balor happened again.
Let's not touch on that subject.
Why is it still happening? Like, for real.
It's what, 8th week in a row?
For real, why is it still going? Can it just end? Just end it, please. Can someone please put one of these two men out of their misery?
I think what'll have to happen is Corbin just absolutely beats Finn down so Finn can take time off. That's all I'm saying. Unless Finn creates some smart way of convincing Corbin to be like, all right, 1-on-1 in a match. If I win, you step down.
That'd be nice. It's never going to happen, though. But I guess moving on. Let's talk about SmackDown.
Oh, hang on. One more thing from Monday Night Raw. Shawn Michaels is appearing next week.
Oh, right. Yes, absolutely. So Shawn Michaels is going to address the Triple H and Undertaker situation, which, I mean, it's not really a situation. It's just a bunch of promos about the match that they've been randomly assigned for Melbourne. But it's still, I guess, a situation. Are we going to get a repeat? Is Shawn Michaels going to be the guest referee?
I hope so.
It's got to be where they're going, right?
Definitely.
Like, what else would he be there for? I'm here to address the situation.
Well,
I think it's cool that these two are having another match. I am done.
Like,
is that...
But I think
he's going to be there to be like, you can't do this without me. Like, that's going to be...
I think that's what it is, and I think we're actually going to have Shawn Michaels in Australia again. He's
pretty cool. Imagine if he came out. Though, and he was just like, "I am completely cool with you guys doing this without me. I am done. This is ridiculous."
Yeah.
Like, imagine if it wasn't. Imagine if it's all a big swerve. We're all meant to think that he's going to be the special guest ref. No, I'm very excited for that. That I know I shouldn't be because I'm the guy who's like, now, all the wrestlers now. But I'm like, man, it's Undertaker, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels, man. Like, that's my job.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think seeing those three together in a ring for potentially the very, very last time in history, that's going to be magical.
For the very, very last time again.
and again. But, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, come on. I mean, how many times did Ric Flair retire? Just as many times as he was world champion. So
yeah, that's exactly right.
let's have this be the 16th time once in a lifetime.
Wow.
16-time end of an era. I'm excited about it. I'm acting like I'm not. Man, my nose is so blocked up. I can hear it in my headphones. This is terrible. But I digress. Let's move on and talk about SmackDown. The opening segment with New Day and Booker T was so fun.
I couldn't understand half of it. Just for the fact that I'm like, is this just a reason to get Booker T on TV? For some reason, because it was like tend to be the week of returns for Hall of Famers. That's just what I was getting.
Yeah, they give they were giving the Canadian crowd something fun, but it was also because they became 5-time champions, and Booker T likes to say 5-time champion. You know, it was fun. I liked it. It was fun. They do the spinner Rooney. it definitely felt like a house show segment.
If you call it a spinner Rooney, what the heck was that, Big E?
I'm pretty sure Undertaker did something similar once. Or maybe it wasn't Undertaker. Maybe it was like Rikishi. I don't know. But that joke's been done before where they just spin the person around. But it was fun. I enjoyed it. I'm like, New Day are one of those teams. New Day are some of those guys where it's like, I'm just really happy for them living their dream. You know? It's fun to me. I enjoy it.
Then we got the triple threat match between the Bar, the Good Brothers, and the Colognes. They're back on TV.
Yeah, so that match was kind of... I mean, it was what it needed to be. I think the Colognes could have looked better. I mean, they get put into this, like, high-profile return, and then they're just, like, an afterthought.
But I think that's what it was.
Yeah, it was a bit... Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, look, it shows that the tag division on SmackDown is infinitely better than the tag division on Raw. Which, I mean, we didn't even touch on the tag division stuff from Raw, which we should probably keep it that way, to be honest with you, because it's terrible.
Yes.
The tag division over there is a joke. Like, the Ascension lost to Bobby Lashley. The Ascension, they're a team. This is two grown men, and they're not small men.
No.
Right? And yes, I get it. Bobby Lashley's a beast. He's an incredible athlete. But that's still two grown men that have been teaming together for years. and you're going to beat them?
I'm just getting a segment in my head. This week on Greg Rants.
I just don't fucking know, man. I can't believe that we forgot about this. And you almost got away with it. You almost got away without me yelling about the tag team division on Raw. But seriously, what the heck? Like, I would have been. It was a lose-lose, right? Because having them in this handicap match with Bobby Lashley, if they lose, I'm pissed because this is two grown men. You can't beat two grown men no matter how good you are, right? When you're one person. Maybe if it's Andre the Giant, you know, maybe. But at that point, you know, you take out the knees. I don't know. It just seems stupid to me. And I know this is wrestling. I get it. But it just upsets me. Because even within wrestling kayfabe, an established tag team should be able to beat a guy who's roughly the same size as them. But I would have been even more pissed off if they won. Because if they won, that means that they're better than the Revival. Because the Revival lost to Bobby Lashley when he was doing that whole fucking thing with Roman Reigns. So if they won, it would have been a lose for me as well. Because now the Ascension are better than the Revival. And that's bullshit as well. The Raw tag division, man, it pisses me off so much.
I was actually just going to mention the Revival and their win over B-Team on Raw. Why couldn't they do that at SummerSlam? Please?
Yeah, but because it was a non-title match, and now it sets up a title match. Have we not seen this enough? Do we need to see it this many times?
This is Corbin Balor all over again.
But the SmackDown tag division is doing well, and that was my point. And
next week, it's been announced that we have Sanity versus Rusev Day versus the Usos. Who's your pick?
Yes. Sanity, right? Like, it's got to be.
You want Sanity?
Well, I don't know.
My pick, personally, I'm going Rusev Day.
Rusev Day. Yeah, I think that Rusev Day need the win. I think that they've come back together, and it would be really feel good for them, and then they can lose to the Bar. But maybe they beat the Bar.
What I'm calling. So Rusev Day go over next week. They beat the Bar the week after. They go to face the New Day. And because Lana being on the outside, and say, for example, Xavier was being on the outside, it's that even 3-on-3. So you have that equality. You have that sort of way that they can make it even.
Yeah,
however, I'm calling Lana to cause the interference, causing Rusev Day to lose.
Okay.
Long-term booking,
so they flip it. So they flip it, and then they do that for 6 weeks, and we get sick of that instead of Aiden English. Yeah, no, I see that happening. That sounds like a good plan. You know what I want though? Just seeing this match and seeing the match announcement for next week. What I want is the club to just randomly attack the Usos. Why? So that we can have another tag team feud, because the SmackDown tag division is strong and they have extra teams, and they should have those teams doing something.
What if it's actually the club that caused Rusev Day to win? Not so much due to the fact that Rusev Day go over clean, but because Rusev Day are the people that the club attack first, causing the disqualification. Do you reckon that could work?
Yeah, that could work. No, but I think that after they lose, you have the club like make fun of them backstage, because that's where the club thrive, and that's where Usos thrive, like on the mic. Like these two could. That's the thing, right? Is Usos and the club could have an entire feud on the mic where they have 3 matches in 3 months, and every other week they just talk on the TV show against each other, and we have a bit of a laugh with them, and then they have a match at the kickoff, you know? And they don't need to actually touch each other all that often, and it'll be a highly entertaining little thing for them.
It's like Velveteen Dream all over again.
Yeah, pretty well. I think more wrestlers should be booked that way, and use more jobbers too. But you know, that's just me. Moving on. I mean, Hardy painted RKO on his face. I really liked that.
I did enjoy that actually. That was a really good mind game.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot. And then Orton comes out with the cheap heat. I like that a lot too. I love cheap heat. So he's just, banging on the crowd, banging on Toronto. There was a lot of cheap heat this week. I guess in Canada's where you get the cheapest of cheap
Probably.
heat. So.
Just about every heel came out and bagged out Canada. I feel really sorry for those guys right now.
Yeah, our girls did it best, but we'll get to that. So Jeff basically tells Randy Orton that they're going to have a Hell in a Cell match.
Pointless, but okay.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I mean, look, they've done a good job at making this feud personal, so I get it, but I would much prefer to see AJ and Joe in the cell.
Is that in a cell, or is that just a singles match again?
Just a singles match.
No, I reckon there needs to be some sort of implication over the next couple of weeks. There needs to be.
I thought that would be the cell match, but you're not going to have two from the one
Maybe not so
brand.
much the cell match, but last man standing or backyard brawl or I don't know, something. Because there needs to be
Final deletion.
Final deletion even. Or final baddyism.
No, but why couldn't Jeff... That's what I mean. Jeff and Orton could have done a final
They
deletion.
could've. That would have been
right?
so good.
Like, Jeff could have, instead of being like, I'm going to take you to hell in a cell. Like, that's funny and
could have
clever.
been,
We've never heard
I'm
that
going to
before.
delete you.
Yeah, or even, you want to erase me so bad, or you want to erase me so bad, why don't you try to delete me?
Or
Right? Challenge him to a final deletion match. That would have been
or
way
have
better.
Jeff make him obsolete.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought, just could have. Miz O'Brien would have suited the cell better as well. It's just, to me, of all the feuds to put in the cell, why this one? Whatever. Mella is money. Her promo was fantastic. Talking about making the women's division on SmackDown what it is. Get it, Queen. I agree with you. R-Truth following her around, though, is the best part of everything.
Now this is the point that I want to talk about. We mentioned earlier about intergender wrestling. Could
I think this is leading to
could R-Truth get his match? Could Carmella just be like,
Yeah.
you know what, I've had enough. Fine, just meet me in the ring.
Yeah. Yeah, I want Carmella to beat R-Truth. Absolutely. I want this to happen. I think it would be amazing. I think they would have a nice little 3-match. If this was NXT or 205 Live, they would have a really nice little 3-match story, and it would be brilliant. But, I don't know if it's going to happen. I hope it does. It looks like it's leading that way, and I'm really enjoying it. And R-Truth is just hilarious.
But I think R-Truth is also that kind of guy. He's been there for years. He's a veteran of the industry. He's probably one of the safest people in the ring to perform with.
Yeah, he's someone that they would trust as well to do something like this, especially because of his character as well. But then we got the Iconics, and they get their cheap heat by making fun of the Toronto Raptors. That made me very happy.
Yes.
I enjoyed that so much. And the Iconics, of course, continue picking up wins on the road to Melbourne.
Which is great.
We see what you're doing, WWE. We see it, and we thank you.
Yep.
So
I think
it's good.
either way,
make our girls-
even if they buried the Iconics leading into Melbourne, they would probably get one of the biggest pops of the entire night.
I still wish that we were getting a tag team tournament of some kind for the women's division, but it is what it is. It doesn't look like they're going to have time now between now and Evolution. Maybe I could be wrong.
I don't know.
Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella, they had a hell of a promo together. I think they work so well together on screen. It lifts Brie's promo game because she's not really good without Daniel Bryan there. And Zelina Vega, her line about standing next to legends, Brie and Almas.
Yes. You just look at Daniel Bryan's face. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What am I?
Top healing. And then when Daniel Bryan was like, why don't we have a match? There's, normally I would have come out and made the match by now. And then Paige is like, oh, my office is all the way over the other side. Ooh, let me catch my breath.
Like that.
That was amazing. That was so fun.
That was pretty funny to watch. I just want to touch again, real quick. Brie Bella pulling double duty at the moment. SmackDown and Raw. Is she going to be doing that for the next few weeks? Like, are Raw and SmackDown constantly going to be in the same spot over the next couple of weeks? Because she's building the feud on, well, not building a feud, but like building her story of her return on Raw as the Bellas are back in action next week.
Yeah, and then she's kind of Daniel Bryan's valet. I'd like to see Baron Corbin pull weight and be like, you need to stop being on SmackDown. I don't care if your husband is there. Your contract is with us.
I'd like to see that, yep.
Yeah, otherwise, why the fuck do you have the brand split? And we know the brand split's probably going to go away come around the Fox deal time, but you know, at least pretend you give a shit about it. But, you know, whatever.
Yep.
I really liked Miz and Maurice's awesome Raglans, by the way. The baseball tees that they
see,
had.
I remember that shirt from back in like 2009.
Yeah, but it's a really nice shirt, and I'm good to see it come back.
I love it. I want one.
No one is buying the Charlotte face turn. Oh, not face turn. I mean, she was always a face, but no one is buying this story.
No,
so
no one. Is.
The pop that this is probably the last thing I want to talk about.
Yeah.
The pop that he got when she attacked Charlotte was huge.
Everyone
but
wants
WWE
it.
is still acting. WWE is still acting like Charlotte is the face. Like when you listen to the commentators, when you listen to like all their copy, like it's all as if Charlotte is the good guy and Becky is, you know, not, or at least less good. And it's so stupid.
Yeah, it's I don't understand it, and I can see where everyone's like, "Hey, yeah, Becky's supposed to be the heel character," but then she's getting these pops, she's getting everyone excited, and it's like, isn't she supposed to be the bad person? Charlotte's supposed to be the good person.
Yeah.
You're booing Charlotte and you're cheering Becky, and what?
I feel like Carmella did a really good job in that match when she had the side headlock on Charlotte, and the crowd are chanting, "We want Becky, we want Becky," and she looked directly at someone in the crowd, right? And she did that thing, and she looked directly at the crowd, and she's just like, "You're not getting Becky. You're not getting Becky. It's me," right?
Yeah.
And the crowd turned on her, and she took that heat onto herself, which was great because it would have been real easy for the crowd to turn on Charlotte. And she made sure that they stayed on her, which was really nice. Carmella's a pro, man.
Yeah, she's good at getting hate.
I don't understand why so many people don't like Carmella. Like, I think she's one of the best that they have right now.
She's good on the mic. She still needs some in-ring.
Yeah, but that's important, though.
Yeah,
That's
it
important. I mean, look, go back into like Val Venus, right? Was he great in the ring? Did he put on 5-star? No, but, you know, he came out, he said, "Hello, ladies," and he took off the towel, and everyone loved it, you know? The predominantly male audience loved it.
And again, we're seeing the same situation. The predominantly male audience are loving it.
Yeah, there's a million ways to get over, and Carmella gets over. So, you know, people can go screw themselves.
And why is that? Why is that? That's because Mella is money.
Mella is money. Thank you, CJ. I'm glad that you've seen the light. That brings the WWE week to a close. What were your matches or highlights of the week?
Mate, Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens takes mine. Holy hell.
So, because you say that, I will give it to Buddy Murphy and Kalisto, but damn, it's close. It's really hard
very,
not
very
to say
close.
that Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens was such a phenomenal match. And if you liked that match, go check out Buddy Murphy and Kalisto. It's on the WWE Network for just $9.99. But for real, it's a really good match, so you want to watch it.
Yeah.
I guess a couple of other things to talk about. We have the news for the Super Showdown, which we are going to be in attendance. So come and say hi. We are the B+. We'll have shirts so you can recognize us. It'll be really easy. But
yes,
Super Showdown, matches, announcements. What do we got?
Okay, so far we have 7 matches set for Super Showdown.
Right, so we talked about a couple of them last week. Let's run you through those ones again. We have a tag team match between Elias and Kevin Owens taking on
John Cena and Bobby Lashley.
John Cena and Bobby Lashley. What's happening there? Because Kevin Owens may not be there. But, you know, we'll see what happens.
Yep.
What else did we have?
We have Daniel Bryan versus The Miz in a singles match to determine the number 1 contender for the WWE Championship.
Very excited for Miz to win that one. What else do we have?
Yes, we have The Shield. Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins going in a 6-man tag team match against Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, and Drew McIntyre. Next. We have Ronda Rousey and the Bella Twins. Now, Melbourne hasn't been a good fan for Ronda Rousey, so I'm hoping that this is better, which it'll have to be anyway.
Oh, they're gonna tease the spot. She's got to get kicked in the face, right? Like,
Please.
it's got to happen.
And you know what?
It has to happen.
It has to happen by Ruby Riott when they face the Riot Squad. Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan.
Yes, and you know what? I would love to see Ruby Riott get that win.
Yeah.
and then have a title match on Raw when they go back to the States and lose. You know, like, I think that would be really, really fun.
That'd be pretty good.
To see her give Ronda her first loss in Melbourne. Like, Melbourne should become this cursed place.
Can it be?
For Ronda.
Please?
How good would that be?
Well,
WWE will never do it because there's no way Ronda is going to lose.
No.
I mean, even if you take Ronda out of the match, like, do that spot, get her kicked in the face, and have her go down like she's knocked out, and have the ref throw up the X, and have them remove her from the ring or whatever, and in the kerfuffle, like, maybe she wasn't the legal woman, and then, you know, the Riot Squad get a roll up on Brie Bella or whoever is legal,
yeah,
and they lose the match that way, but it definitely looks like Ronda's knocked out. Like, something like that would be brilliant.
Yeah, it would be. That'd be the good way to do it. Following that, we have... I don't understand why this is a match at the moment, but AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe for the WWE Championship.
Right, so, I mean, why are you going to announce this before they have the match at Hell in a Cell? Like, let us find out who's going to win at Hell in a Cell, because it kind of makes the Hell in a Cell match meaningless.
Yeah, well, at the moment, they're advertising AJ Styles as the champion.
Right, it could be a rematch.
Could be.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah. Oh, we'll see what happens. I'm curious.
Yeah.
It'll be a fantastic match. Don't get me wrong, I'm excited to see the match.
Oh, yeah, I mean, any chance to see AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe live, I mean, I'm there.
Yeah, absolutely. And then?
The match that everyone's talking about, that social media is craving about, The Undertaker versus Triple H for the last time ever.
Again, yes. So we touched on that earlier in the show.
Yep.
Let's keep going. You know what I'm looking for.
Wish I left this for last, due to the fact that it is our boy, Buddy Murphy, challenging for the Cruiserweight Championship against Cedric Alexander.
Bringing home the gold in Melbourne, baby.
He needs to do it. They need to have him win.
Right? He's going to win. The roof is going to blow off the place. Everyone watching in America is going to be like, why do the fans like this guy so much? It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be... legend, wait for it, Barry.
Yes.
Legendary.
I appreciate the How I Met Your Mother reference, but it is absolutely going to be legendary. I'm really looking forward to it. So that's WWE Super Showdown in Melbourne. Come say hi if you're there. So you'll see us from our shirts. CJ's getting some shirts made, and it's going to be a really good time. We're going to be filming some YouTube stuff and whatnot around the place before. So if you know us, come up and say hi.
Even if you don't know us and you see a camera, just come say hi anyway.
Well, if they don't know us, they wouldn't be listening to this.
Well, you never know. They could.
Where can people find you, CJ?
Guys, you can find me on Facebook at CJ's World or on Instagram at CJ's_World. Go like, share, subscribe.
Awesome. I am at Greg Unchained on Twitter, at the Greg Unchained on Instagram. We collectively are known as the B+ Wrestle on Twitter because wrestling wouldn't fit. Twitter is stupid. Everywhere else, we are the B+ Wrestling. That is Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify. We are everywhere, taking over the world. Like, share, subscribe. Leave us a 5-star review if you feel so inclined. And thank you so much for listening.
Hold one! Arm drag! You're not doing this. Get out.
Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon.
You just made the list!
So, no speak English.
Dummy! Goodbye and good night. Hold two! Arm bar!
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
It's still real to me, damn it! Dummy!